screen? Should there be a nodal agency to assess and monitor the steel demand originating from the projects under Gati Shakti scheme? So the options are very simple, yes or no. Should there be a nodal agency to access and monitor the steel demand originating from the project under Gati Shakti scheme? And the same question I would like to take up from Mr. Sarangi and Rajesh ji. Is there any nodal agency, sir, or is it under development? So I'm closing down the poll now. We have got the response.
As far as my knowledge goes, we don't have any such agency. And
Okay.
basically,
Hmm.
it's in our highway projects, whether it is public funded or PPP, the procurement of all materials, including steel, is the responsibility of contractor or concessionaire. So this kind of arrangement is not there. But we are very much concerned about the uh, availability and the pricing. That's many times we get imports and requests from our contractor that leads to our involvement. But the total assessment, as you say, we don't have at the moment.
But do you think we should have a nodal agency? Otherwise, how will we come to know? As in, there's so many projects going on. Rajesh ji, what do you think? I'd like to have your view as well.
Yes, he's right. Actually, we don't have any such agency right now. But we all, do such studies and analysis. And just a few minutes back, the data I have told you is, that at we are doing such some projects and plan some projects. It was based on a study that's been that
is time to serve our customer. So here I would like to say to specifically to Rajesh that coastal movement actually is very good as far as cost is concerned, but customers are not happy because the lead time is pretty high from production to actually delivery, and also it has to move in a bulk quantity. So as far as steel is concerned, although we are doing it uh, at Tata Steel, but there are issues related to time to serve to our customer. So steel plant, you know that these are strategically located near raw material location, and this is in southern and eastern region of the India. Most of the plant, obviously NMS, not, there are other plants also, but most of the capacity in these two regions. So, but FG movement happens to mostly in north, in our case, northwest. So naturally, the lead time is very high, and that is how the working capital requirement is pretty high because of this situation. So apart from this, the reach of logistics to rural areas has been a hurdle for steel consumption. We have discussed this. Our figure indicates that per capita steel consumption in rural areas is hardly around 21 kg against overall average of 64. And accessibility in this region is basically a problem for the steel consumption. If it reaches with minimum cost, obviously the steel consumption is going to increase. Also, a deeply fragmented nature of Indian rail logistics adds up to the impediment of steel consumption. Truck owners having less than 5 trucks constitutes more than half of the goods vehicle on the road. An organized logistics sector, on the other hand, will bolster the consumption of the steel. It's a highly fragmented sector, so we need to look at how we can make it organized. Apart from this, the IT enablements in logistics today are at actually a cradle stage. A full-fledged implementation of IT solution in logistics will definitely strengthen the logistics business by bringing more visibility, route optimization techniques, and these measures will contribute to a smooth rollout of the project in India and indirectly contribute to increased steel consumption. And I'm sure Gati Shakti is towards that objective. Right. Thank you.
Thank you. So, one question I would like to ask to our steel producers, that is there any product which we are importing, and it is getting largely used, and we can substitute it, um, and can be used under this scheme. So, is there any product which where we you think we are importing a lot, but by increasing our domestic production, or maybe by doing product development, we can do this. We'll start from Mr. Sridhar, then Mr. Ranit, and then Mr. Subrata. So just 1 second. Let me unmute you. So over to you.
Yeah, I suggested two or three products. For example, these food silos, which require the heavy duty coatings and all that stuff, which used to get imported, but now we produce in India. And 2 years' time, we're putting up an expansion project for about 2 million tons of coated products in Hazira. And that will also produce patented product for this heavy duty coatings from ArcelorMittal's portfolio, which will be put here in India as well. And similarly for this solar applications, which require again heavy duty, 650 GSM zinc coatings and all that stuff, which is again not manufactured in India. Very few people manufacture in the world, and ArcelorMittal does so. And so that also will be done in India. So all these are import substitution. Then again, refrigerator doors. Normally, back panels, front panels, and all this are manufactured in India. But the front doors, the doors of the refrigerators, they're all imported. So that also we have started doing it. In India, in the last few months as well. So these are some of the import substitution products which we are going to do it in a big way.
Ranit ji.
Yeah, so it's a very good question, Monica ji, and I would like to answer it from the railways perspective. So, a month back, there were a lot of coverage in the press about Vande Bharat trains, and FM had mentioned that over the next 3 years there'll be 400 Vande Bharat trains which would be coming onto the tracks, out of which 100 are already in stainless steel. But for the remaining 300, what we read was that it could be in aluminium. Now, here I would like to add that the primary reason for going ahead with aluminium is to get a weight reduction of the coaches, because it ultimately helps in the energy efficiency. And what I understand after having discussed this subject in details with various production units, that the maximum weight reduction which is possible with aluminium per train is about 2 metric ton. Whereas, as I have highlighted in my presentation today, and which we've also highlighted to the railway, to RDSO, is that with different grades of stainless steel, we can achieve a weight reduction of close to 4 metric ton, and if possible 5 metric ton. So aluminium today, if you look at the extrusions, they are scarcely available in India, and primarily these need to be imported. So if we look at stainless steel, which all the domestic manufacturers are able to supply, so that could be a kind of an impetus to the Atmanirbhar Bharat as well as to the Make in India policy. Secondly, if you look at the cost perspective, an aluminium made train, a coach, it comes to about say 30-31 crore, whereas currently the stainless steel made LHP coach, it comes to about 3 crore. If we use a different grade of stainless steel, of course, a higher strength stainless steel, which metro manufacturers are already utilizing, not only globally, but in India as well, that cost might increase up to say 4 or 5 crores. But then again, even at 4 to 5 crores, it is almost 1/6 the cost of an aluminium train, and with a better weight reduction possibility than aluminium. So, this is one area where we would request Indian Railways to consider that stainless steel is still in the most preferred material in fabrication of coaches and wagons. So this is one aspect which could be looked into more deeply. Yes.
Right. Subrata ji, you have any point here to make?
Yeah, I'll just add small points. So we are in segments. Our focus area is automotive, industrial project engineering, and then we have our distribution and branded product business. In every area, so there is an effort to actually for import substitution. I'll give you a specific example. For example, high strength IF steel. So generally, we for our own downstream production, we used to take it from a player like POSCO, but we are now producing, and we are going beyond that. Then, for example, API pipe production. So there are HR coil, which was actually there was earlier import, which has been converted into domestic sources. So this effort, there are efforts going on, and obviously we are sure that a lot of import substitution will happen. Another point I would like to add, apart from steel, for example, for coach manufacturing, we are coming up with
Subrata ji, we are not able to hear you. I think there's some network issue at your end. Your video is paused. So Sarangi ji and Rajesh ji, I want to ask you a similar question. Is there any product which we are, importing, which in during the tender phase, you find that international companies are participating, where you think Indian companies should, come ahead? Sarangi sir and Mr. Rajesh.
See, in highway projects, we are basically using steel. If it goes
not
into
here,
the
Monica.
construction, then it is a steel reinforcement, pre-stressing steel, or structural steel, which is all produced in the country. But then there are the equipments and many other things where the imported steel also used to some extent. I may not be having all details of that. But as far as the steel reinforcement or pre-stressing steel or the structural steel, because now we have more switched over to steel bridges. There was a time when we were more focused on the concrete bridges, both RCC and PSC. But now there is also, because of lot many flyovers, elevated sections, so there is a preference to go for steel structures, considerably more numbers, as everybody must be seeing. But basically, we don't feel a shortage of this, like come the month of March, we hear from all our contractors, bitumen is not available. I am not able to give the progress because of shortage of bitumen. But a similar shortage of steel is very rarely heard from our contractors or concessionaires. But what is a point of concern for us, I think the industry should or can look into that, is about the quality, which many times we are finding, because now it is all open. We don't have any distinction between primary producer or secondary producer. So the quality of steel is a big concern to us. So that's we have been, of course, trying, but the self-regulation by the industry can help us better in that aspect.
I totally get it. Rajesh ji, what is your point? As in, do you face that during the tender phase, a lot of international companies are participating than Indian companies, and exactly for what, as in, what is your view here?
Mr. Sarangi has rightly pointed out, is we are not facing that sort of problem. But I want to raise a different question here, a different point actually. It's about that cotton steel. Means why we are lagging behind. Means yes, I know that there is. I have a old information that the container that we manufacture in India is costing a bit more than what importing from China. It is there's a difference of around, I think, 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh rupees between both. So lagging right now means why can't we manufacture those containers in a more means better, in a better way, so that their costing can be reduced, that cotton steel, maybe I think Mr. Sridhar has already told that yes, they are producing, but in a small quantity maybe. So why are we not producing, more so that its costing may get reduced somewhere?
It's a niche product and niche applications, niche demand, niche quantities, and also therefore we have not done in a big way. Yes, if we have to do it in a large scale way, container production and all that, which is the need of the hour now. Okay, so we will have to go for expansion on this. So that we are yet to take a decision on this. Right now we can produce, but in a limited quantity. And this is something which is a productivity killer. This cotton steel, whenever you produce, the overall productivity comes down. So these are some of the things which are at the top of our mind. But yes, this is something which we would look into as we go along.
And sir, what do you think about this? The revolutionary vehicle scrap policy that ministry has came out.
That's a great one. That's a
And,
great one. Hats off to many of your schemes which the government of India is coming. Especially, I wanted to congratulate Mr. Sarangi. This roadways which you are building at the rate of 38 kilometers per day is a world record. And now I believe you are going to excel our own records, which we have made up to 50 kilometers per day. Excellent. Congratulations and keep it up.
So we will be ending the session. Before we end the session, I would like to have final words from our panelists. We will start from Mr. Sarangi. Sarangi, sir, you're there? Your video is not moving, sir. So, okay, we will have final words from Mr. Rajesh Asati and then Mr. Sridhar, Mr. Ranit, and Mr. Subrata. Yeah, Sarangi, sir, I think you're there now. So, sir, we are closing the session. So, I would like to have your final words before we close it. So, are you able to hear me?
In between, I could not hear for some time. I don't know, from
Yes, sir.
problem from my
So
end.
I was saying we are about to close the session now. It's already 4:30. So before we close, I would like to have final remarks from all the panelists, starting from you, sir.
This Gati Shakti master plan is a very, very excellent idea, and to say it in the layman's term, all you see in the small towns, not small towns, in big cities, someday road is built, next day water pipeline people come and dig it and they lay water pipeline, third day optical fiber cables will be coming. So this kind of mess or chaos is intended to be removed to bring far more efficiency. And when we bring efficiency, there will be reduction in cost and we can allocate more works, go for more development. And the way it is showing in the initial the presentations and initial what we have seen, it has a very, very promising story. Maybe in another 6 months or 1 year, the way we have been implementing the projects, there will be a sea change because of Gati Shakti.
Thank you so much, Sarangi, sir. Rajesh ji, your final remarks, sir, before we end the session.
Yes, so Sarangi sir has already, wonderfully wrapped it up. And just I want to add one thing. Apart from having new steel and in the market, we can also look into the recycling of steel. It's steel coming from ships as well as vehicles, and we should look into the procedural and legal aspects of using that steel in construction as well as other important manufacturing. So the the panel, the rest of the panel can give some focus some light on it, whether we can use that steel in other sectors, or we have to look into the small loopholes from here and there to use that. Thank you.
Right, sir. Thank you, Rajesh ji. Sridhar sir, in your final remark, I would like to take up one last question with you. and with that you can close it, that with the increase in commodity prices, steel prices, how do you think the steel manufacturers will be able to supply it in these projects and in this scheme? Sridhar sir.
Before I come to that, before I come to that, I just wanted to take up what Rajesh ji has said just now, scrap. With this India UAE, free trade agreement which is coming up, UAE is a big source for scrap. And many of the Indian mills, Indian companies can source scrap almost duty free from UAE. So that basically this is green steel, instead of blast furnace route, which generates carbon dioxide and various other, gases and all that stuff. So this is an efficient green steel way of doing it, scrap, to answer his question. Then the second point is to wrap up on this Gati Shakti. Before I come to your question, is this it's a national master plan. It gives you synchronization, optimization, which is the best way to take the material to the last mile, which is basically seamless connectivity. And also multiple regulatory clearances are not required. It will be under one roof. And of course, it's going to give a multiplier effect, 2.5 to 3 times what you spend on this Gati, I mean, this infrastructure is going to give us the benefits that way. And there's, of course, a lot of IT and a lot of enterprise resource planning and all of it goes into this. Okay, now, Monica, coming to your question of the costs. Yes, the costs have gone up and most of it has to be passed on to the customers. For example, this coking coal, which was $125, $130, has now become $565, $70 per ton, FOB Australia. So then again, iron ore is going up to $151, $152 per ton. All these costs, so iron ore, scrap, then coking coal, everything has gone up. Most of the materials, aluminium, zinc, nickel, all of it is going up. So all of these costs have to be passed on to the customers. So this is something which is a cost push where we have got no control on. A. B is the cost of the projects. If they have to be controlled, there is something which you can't control, which is the input cost. But then there is the effective implementation, efficient implementation. Why do projects take such a long time to get completed? So if that is addressed, if the efficiency of project execution is taken up, and there are no long-term delays, there are no delays, cost overruns and all, I think that's one way of reducing the cost for most of the projects. That's all.
Thank you, Sridhar sir. Ranit ji, your final remarks, sir.
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, the PM's Gati Shakti plan is a masterstroke, and if we look at the 7 engines that it focuses on, in stainless steel terminology, we categorize them under ART and ABC. So ART means automotive, railways, transport, and ABC means architecture, building, construction. And I would just like to share a small figure. So if you look at the globally or the Western world, ABC, the stainless steel consumption in the ABC sector is about 15%, and it's about 12 to 13% in the ART segment. Whereas in India, it's just about 3 to 4% in each of these categories. So I would say, there is a huge potential which exists in the country today of increasing the stainless steel consumption. Only one thing which we need to take care of is that we need to have a mindset of life cycle costing. We need to consider the total cost of ownership of a product. And once we are able to do that, I believe there is no end, there is no limit to which the stainless steel consumption in the country can reach. So with that, I would like to thank you and to all our panelists, to all our viewers for having this wonderful session on Gati Shakti. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ranit ji. Mr. Subrata, your final remarks, sir.
Yeah. So before I give my final remarks, I would like to respond to Rajesh sir. Actually, Rajesh sir, you talked about this scrap. Actually, Tata Steel, what we, in 3 to 4 years back, what we thought, because of logistic constraint, let's say in north, in west, what we are trying to do, we are trying to do a local sourcing of the scrap. We are actually converting it to, electric arc furnace. That is the plan. Scrap sourcing unit is already ready. It is producing. and then producing, let's say, TMT in that particular location, and selling it locally, so that logistic constraint, and it is also a green. So this is a concept of circular economy. We need to also reduce the scope 3 emission, and that's why there are, plans to do local sourcing, local production, and selling it locally, right? So scrap supply chain that you are talking about, Gati Shakti will obviously will strengthen the scrap supply chain and thereby contribute in circular economy. My concluding remarks: there are, I think, four key benefits through Gati Shakti National Master Plan. First, obviously, it will reduce the cost of logistics. Around 40,000 crores of annual loss across top 7 corridor due to lower running speed of the truck. So Gati Shakti obviously will address that. Then the driving investment we discussed. Even for steel industry, there are many investment that is going to come because of this policy. Driving employment and economy. Mr. Sridhar has spoken about this 2.5 times and all. So that is also another thing. And then the unlocking potential of our steel industry, and that is also going to happen. So with this, thank you so much, the panelists, viewers, and Monica ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Subrata ji. With this, I'm ending the session, viewers. I would like to thank our fellow panelists, starting from Mr. D. Sarangi, ADG, SNR, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Mr. Rajesh Asati, Deputy Secretary, Sagarmala and PPP from Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. I would like to thank Mr. Mudit Chandra, Executive Director, Freight Marketing of Indian Railways, Mr. R.V. Sridhar, ED and CEO, Coated Steel at ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel, India, Mr. Subrata Basak, Chief Logistic Operation, Tata Steel, Meramandali, Mr. Ranit Rana, General Manager, Sales and Distribution, Jindal Stainless Limited. The program sponsored by JSW Coated Products, Easy Do Chat by Liberty Shipping, and Jindal Stainless. Viewers, a recorded version of this webinar will be available on our YouTube channel. Please do not miss to subscribe to youtube.com/Metalogic PMS and press the bell icon for notification. All webinars will be converted into a report which will be available by next week along with the recording. So please visit to mymetalogic.com to get the report of this program. And we will meet again on 25th of March with a new webinar on cues for metal and mining stocks. So till then, take care and goodbye. Thank you so much.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Hi, are you looking to improve the efficiency of your company in this modern hybrid and remote work setup where most do not carry laptops or where some staff do not have unique email IDs? Or is your email inbox exploding with unwanted and spam emails? It's time to move on to a workplace office dedicated chat app. With Easy Do Chat app, users can register with only a unique mobile number. No email ID required. Are you facing issues with non-English speaking clients or vendors? Easy Do Chat now supports 50 different languages with auto-translation features. See messages in your own language. Are you getting too busy with work life? Now you can save 2 hours daily using Easy Do Chat app. You can now assign tasks to family, colleagues, or friends under 30 seconds. Tasks appear in their to-dos automatically. Are you busy chasing or reminding people about their day-to-day activities? With Easy Do Chat, you get auto status updates and reminders about daily itineraries. Tired of sharing meeting links and calling participants to join? Using Easy Do Chat app, schedule a virtual meeting and all participants get a video call back to join the meeting on time. Are your colleagues using social media chat apps during work hours? Easy Do Chat app is a dedicated internal office chat app which comes with your company branding along with other features built for MSME businesses. Easy Do Chat comes with a user-friendly design that requires no dedicated training. To download the app, go to Play Store and search Easy Do Chat and install the app. Easy Do Chat. Make life easy. Available on Android. Hi, are you looking to improve the efficiency of
एक्सक्यूज मी
ऋषभ भैया,
चल एक बढ़िया सी छत दिखाना।
ये देखिए JSW कलर ऑन प्लस छत।
कलर ऑन प्लस ही क्यों?
सालों बाद आप फॉर्म में रहेंगे।
पता नहीं।
आपके सर पे बाल रहेंगे।
पता नहीं।
पर मुझे पता है, सालों बाद भी इसका रंग रूप सेम रहेगा।
फिर घर पे यही लगेगी।
JSW कलर ऑन प्लस छत 10 साल की वारंटी के साथ।
Hi, are you looking to improve the efficiency of your company in this modern hybrid and remote work setup where most do not carry laptops or where some staff do not have unique email IDs? To download the app, go to Play Store and search Easy Do Chat and install the app. Easy Do Chat. Make life easy. Available on Android.
Jindal Stainless is continuously developing the stainless steel landscape of the country. Jindal Stainless, because it's not just steel, it's stainless steel.
एक्सक्यूज मी
ऋषभ भैया,
चल एक बढ़िया सी छत दिखाना।
ये देखिए JSW कलर ऑन प्लस छत।
कलर ऑन प्लस ही क्यों?
सालों बाद आप फॉर्म में रहेंगे।
पता नहीं।
आपके सर पे बाल रहेंगे।
पता नहीं।
पर मुझे पता है, सालों बाद भी इसका रंग रूप सेम रहेगा।
फिर घर पे यही लगेगी।
JSW कलर ऑन प्लस छत 10 साल की वारंटी के साथ।
Hi, are you looking to improve the efficiency of your company in this modern hybrid and remote work setup where most do not carry laptops or where some staff do not have unique email IDs? To download the app, go to Play Store and search Easy Do Chat and install the app. Easy Do Chat. Make life easy. Available on Android.
Jindal Stainless is continuously developing the stainless steel landscape of the country. Jindal Stainless, because it's not just steel, it's stainless steel.